Welcome back to the Proper Property Podcast. And today I've got my really good friend, Joe Taylor. Welcome, Joe.
Welcome on. Take two. Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's do it, bro.
So, yeah, absolutely amazing things that Joe does. So what Joe does is he is a real social media guru. He helps property investors raise finance. And as well as that, he's recently launched a business. He's a co-founder of a business, which we're going to talk about. And he's going to tell us his story, where he came from, where he started. Joe Taylor, tell us about yourself.
So yeah, man. So my name's Joe. I'm obviously the owner of eGrowth Media. Started my first business when I was 15. Imported t-shirts from China. My mum took me to the local embroiders, sold them on to profits for kids in my area, sold them to the most popular kids, found them, redistributed to them, and then obviously made a bit of profit. Went into my first marketing agency, so I worked for a company called the Entrepreneur Circle. That was in 2018. That was kind of my first foray into marketing, Instagram, content, doing all that good stuff. And I thought, you know what, I could do this for myself. So I bought a course, went onto a guy called YouTube channel, a guy called Jordan Platten, did all his courses, his books, and all that good stuff. Invested in the course, and then I kind of fell into the property industry. So I went on a ski trip, met a guy called Stephen Pardo. Shout out to Stephen. My first ever client, bro. He bought £200 a month he was paying me. He had a service accommodation building. He needed me to fill that with leads. We got him 180 leads in about 6 weeks.
Wow.
Got him that was my first ever testimonial. And then kind of fell into the property industry. That was kind of my first way in. Never really planned to go into the property industry. I just thought it's an industry with a lot of people that are doing good stuff, but didn't know how to market themselves.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we fell into the industry, fell into the niche. And it's just grown from there, really.
I think that's a really good point. And I think that's why sometimes fresh eyes from people in specialist businesses like yours, it really is something that a lot of investors need. I think because you're not a property investor yourself, are you?
Correct, yeah.
So you can see how social media works, where there's a lot of property investors out there who don't understand algorithms.
Yeah.
That's not their forte. And I say it quite often that it's what you know, and you don't know until you know.
Of course it is.
So I think it's really important that there's people like yourself out there. And yeah, so let's just rewind a little bit back then.
Yeah.
I know you were saying about that you started selling the t-shirts.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting I've always got like a little bit of a Del Boy vibe.
Yeah,
so you always had that entrepreneur. I
always had it, bro. I always knew I wanted to make money.
Yeah.
But I was 14 at the time, so I was like, I can't get a job in a restaurant or a bar. What can I do to make some money? So yeah, called the business Taylor & Co. My best mate designed the logo. You know, when tie-dye was a massive thing.
Yeah.
All the swirls and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the trend. Sold them through Instagram, through people around my area. And then, I think I made about 400 quid, but at 14, I felt like a millionaire.
That's immense. That's immense. But that is what I find that is what being an entrepreneur is about. It's about creating something from something that don't exist. It's nothing until you've made it.
That's it.
So absolutely amazing. So let's talk about social media then.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people talk about algorithms and content, and what is your views on the algorithms? What's your views on likes? Are likes important? Are views important?
Yeah.
What is important about the posts that go out, and what should people be looking at?
So yes or no, it answers that question. So the first thing is you need top of funnel awareness. There's 3 stages of the funnel. You're the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, the bottom of the funnel. Where most investors struggle with is getting seen. They might be the best deal source in the world. They might be the best property investor in the world, but no one knows who they are and what they do because they're good at doing the doing, but they don't know how to get out there. So likes are a good indication as to whether your audience is engaged, but it's not everything. I've got some clients that have raised 200, 300K, don't have a massive following, don't get a lot of likes, but they have an audience that's engaged in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And most investors, actually, believe it or not, won't even like or share your content. They'll just be watching. Have you noticed that?
I say that exact thing all the time.
It's true.
All the people that drop in my inbox and say that they've been following me and I end up actually doing business with them.
Yeah, never even engaged.
I look back and they've never engaged with any of my content.
That's it.
But you have got to be consistent in your content, and
that's it.
You have got to keep it up. Yeah. One of my questions for you is what do you think is a right amount that you should be posting a week?
Everyone always asks me this. Yeah. So I always say, like, for example, for me, I'm twice a day, every single day on Facebook and Instagram. They're my 2 platforms that where my audience is. I think for clients, it does depend. Most of our clients do 3 posts a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But again, there's no exact science. All I'd say is I would rather you do 1 post a week forever than 5 posts a week for 6 months and disappear. Because I see it time and time again. People do these property courses, they get excited.
Yes.
They do all guns blazing, and then 2 months later, they disappear.
Yes.
And that's a massive red flag for an investor.
Yeah, I see that.
So just build up consistently, do it authentically as well. Don't post for the sake of posting. The amount of time that you've probably seen this before, that people just post anything, but there's no objective behind their content.
Yeah.
So they're posting, but what's it actually trying to achieve?
Yeah. Or there's no call to action.
Or there's no call to action.
It's just kind of saying what you're doing and
Yeah.
Of
course.
So what is it authenticity over perfection? So this is something I wanted to discuss. There's a lot of people shooting content on the phones. I know that you've said that just posting is good enough, but do you think that we're in an age now where it's so common for people to be videoing on the phones that they should be every so often? I'm not saying that every post has to be quality, but every so often they should be posting with higher quality content, higher quality images. What's your thoughts?
Totally, I agree with that. So if it's too slick and too professional all the time, I feel like it doesn't have the authenticity. People want to connect with you. It looks like a marketing agency is doing that.
Yes.
So the way we know we're doing a good job is when no one knows it's us, when people think they're connecting with the client. But however, let's say you've got a landing page or you've got a new offer that's launching, come to a studio, get it professionally filmed, go to your properties. If you've got a big development you're doing, talk about that. Get a videography company like yourselves, 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't have to be perfection and slick on every single post. Because if you look at mine, a lot of my stuff is me just speaking, me just being out there. And that's how I genuinely build good connections with my audience.
Being real.
Yeah. Just being real, being honest.
Real and honest. 100%. I think, I say to my clients as well, because you know that I do a similar sort of thing. And I'll say to them, like, look, it does depend on who you're trying to reach.
That's it, yeah.
As well. And if it's high net worth clients, a lot of them are looking for quality content. Mm-hmm. Not that you do have to post quality content all the time, but these people are scrolling through they're doing their due diligence on you. They're researching you on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. So they're looking back at what the quality of your content is, what the quality of what you're saying is. Do you actually believe in what you say? Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to talk about as well is, I know we're saying about authenticity. Do you think it's important to be authentic because there's that fine line between social media and real life, that if someone, say, is really good on social media, a business has made them look really good, a really nice person, and then when you meet him in real life, they're a bit of a dickhead. Yeah. Like, there is that, they've got to be authentic.
100%.
Because once you meet them, and realise that they're a bit of a dickhead, you realise, I don't want to do work with that guy.
And it's just the persona. Of course you do.
Yeah.
So 100% you have to be exactly how you are online, how you're in person. Yeah. Because I've seen it before, exactly like that. They come across as very nice, authentic. You meet them, they're a bit of a knobhead. Yeah. And that congruency needs to be important in anything that you do, whether that be a website, whether that be your videos, whether it be your social media, whether that be on a podcast. Everything has to be in line in terms of authenticity. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Let's talk about opportunities. So I think, and for my business as well, a lot of opportunities that have come from my media business have been in property, because that was my goal. Yeah, I started shooting property, and then I've gone into doing property investments. Yeah. But I made the connections with the estate agents, which I needed from doing the property media. Mm-hmm. Now I know that you've made some really good connections from you doing the content. Yeah. People. I believe at Alfie Best, you were shooting some content. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Yeah, so basically came through a client. Again, shout out to Faris. So Faris approached me, this was 2 years ago. He said, look, do you want to come out to Dubai? I'm going into business with Alfie. Do you want to come film it? I was like, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Obviously, wildest dreams. So went to Dubai. It was crazy 5 days, very intense. Opened my eyes to a lot of things. Met Alfie there, shook his hand. And then, kind of that's where the relationship started. So we do all of Alfie's Instagram and TikTok.
So we've been doing that for coming up to 12 months now. So we've got over 7 million views, massive growth. Started his TikTok from like 3,000. We're just touching on 15,000 followers now. All organic, all authentic. And yeah, it's just been amazing. We're filming with him in Monaco. He's coming to my retreat in May. And that's just the power of one connection. So if I hadn't have had Faris in the property industry, I never would have met Alf. You know, I'm never going to meet Alf in, you know, day-to-day life, am I? So yeah, it's massive connections and opportunities. But you have to be open to accepting them.
Yeah.
You know, opportunities pass by everyone, but the ones that take them, then they're the ones who benefit.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
And I noticed you mentioned your retreat.
Yeah, man.
Right. Do you want to plug your retreat?
Let's plug the retreat.
So what's going on with this then? Where is it?
Absolutely. So it's in Marbella, and it's from May the 4th till May the 8th this year. I can't believe it's come around this quick.
I know we spoke about it about a year and a half ago.
About a year and a half
First
ago.
starting out.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So basically, it's a 5-day retreat. So it's for property investors and developers that we call it the Breaking Down Buyers Retreat. Essentially, anyone in property that's looking to scale, looking to build a portfolio, looking to build a personal brand and network with people at Alfie Best. So I'm flying him in from Monaco. So he's coming in for 2 days. So people are going to get a one-to-one with Alfie. We've got massage therapists, yoga therapists. We've got like a private dinner. And I've chartered a yacht as well. So it's going to be really good, really intense. I've got Paul Tinker coming as well, who's obviously big on investing and silver. And then shout out to my co-retreat, Mr. Nick Starr, who's been helping put this together in the background. He's going to be coming and talk about sales, NLP, how to close investors, how to learn the art of public speaking. And yeah, it's going to be really good. So I've got one place left. So if anyone is interested, please hit my DMs.
Where can they get you? If you want to say it to camera quickly, little plug.
Yeah, so find me on Instagram at eGrowthMedia Ltd or message me directly, and I'll be more than happy to share the space with you.
Nice. So, do you want to give us a little bit of are there any particular stories where you took someone, let's say, who was very nervous on social media, didn't know how to shoot content, they were a property investor, had no idea how this world works, and where they are now?
Absolutely, yeah. So I want to give a massive shout out to one of my clients, Sue Wesby. I'm not sure if you met Sue before. So she's from Northampton. She came to work with me two years ago in March. So March 2024, she approached me, met her on a networking event. She'd had the content, she had the classics, she'd had a VA, she had an agency, but they were just posting random bits of information. So there was no liking, no trusting, there was no audience there, just posting random stuff. So she was a bit skeptical. So I jumped on a call with her and said, look, this is what we can do. This is the plan. I think we had our work cut out. She had absolutely no engagement. She won't mind me saying this.
Yeah.
And I thought this is going to be a difficult one. Anyway, long story short, over the last 2 years, she's been on TV twice. She's in news publications. She's raised over £800,000. Her audience has grown on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And she's just getting money thrown at her. And she's on her, I believe, her 8th deal in 2 years. So completely changed the trajectory of her business. I believe when she started working with me, she'd just done 1 deal, and now she's 7th or 8th, if I'm not mistaken, roughly in that period of over 2 years, which is incredible. Wow. She's even got, her gardener and other people in her network just let me work with you, just giving her money because she's built the know, like, and trust consistently over a period of time.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. She's shown up, she goes to networking events, she puts herself in rooms where opportunities lie, and her messaging is consistent online as well as offline, which is exactly as I said before, super, super important.
That's brilliant.
Yes, great to see her growth.
I know you've touched on know, like, trust.
Yes.
I recently did a talk somewhere, and I put that in my slides as you do. I've seen that in yours, and I was amazed. I was in a room full of business people.
I'd never heard of it.
They'd never heard of it.
It's crazy, isn't it? But it's just psychology.
Yeah.
It's like if you meet a girl for the first time, you're not going to ask to marry her, are you? If you do, you might be a bit weird.
Yeah.
And it's the same principle in business, in dating, in any element. Know, like, and trust. We, as a property business owner, it's a people's game. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. If you're a product-based business, it's slightly different. You still have to trust the product. But in our game, it's all about you and our relationship and how much I know you, like you, and trust you and believe that you can do the best job for me.
And social media bridges that gap.
100%.
It's the know, like, and trust part, which may take you 6 to 8 months to build up with someone.
Yeah.
It speeds that process up.
Of course it is.
Because they've seen you online.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get this as well. I have people coming up to me events and they feel like they already know me.
Yeah,
they feel
of
like
course.
I'm their friend.
Of course. I had a guy, so one of my clients at the moment, a guy called Marios. I first met him. He came to my first ever event in Leeds, 2023. Not spoke to him in 2.5 years. He reached out to me the back end of last year. Said, love what you're doing, working together. I forgot that we even met. And now he's one of my best clients. We're doing a lot of consulting work for him and is, helping him launch his new offer, which is really exciting. And because I stayed top of mind for 2.5 years, I was the first person he contacted, the first person he thought of. But if I'd have disappeared, that lead, he didn't buy from me in 2023. But when he came around, when he was ready in a position to buy, I was the first person top of mind. And that's as a result of consistently documenting what you're doing.
Yeah.
So important, man.
And I think being a key person of influence as well, I think it's very important. And social media really does help with that, where you can, for instance, when people say to me, I'm a property investor and I need to up my social media game, instantly I think of you.
Yeah.
That instantly, which I'm sure many people do who you've met from doing networking events. And I think it's so important. And it was the same with the photographer.
Yeah.
If anyone said property photographer,
you're the first person that people think of.
Because of the events, because I was telling rooms of 30, 40, 50 people.
Yeah.
They're then telling their friends. In regards to networking, what is your thoughts? How important do you think networking is?
100% very important. Now, I always say this, another mistake I see a lot of property people make is that they network within the property circles. Now, that is good for building general connections, but if you're looking for investors, you need to get yourself out of these rooms, get yourself into rooms with people like who own trading businesses or SaaS pensions or different sorts of wealth strategies.
Yeah.
If you go to a property networking event, you're just meeting people similar to you.
Yes.
Which is good for the connections, I'm not saying that. But if you're looking to raise finance, you have to be networking in different rooms. And I always say, like, networking is all the time. It's, you could be down the road. We put investors on these pedestals, but an investor could be someone that you meet in a sauna, at the gym, anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So you always have to tell people who you are and what you do. It's as simple as that.
I always said that I used to, when I first started out, I had 2 networking events that I went to. And one was for me to gain knowledge at, and I didn't sell anything.
Yeah.
And the other one was where I sold.
Yeah.
So I went to a business event to sell, and I went to property events to learn.
That's spot on, 100%.
And I think if you are starting out, because I get this off a lot of people, because I get told I'm like the network king of quite a few. I do need to calm down. But I think that having that kind of strategy, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world either.
No.
When you think of it, it's like £20, £25 an event.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's cheaper than a course, but when you are starting out, that's a lot of money to have to keep paying out to do these events, to hopefully make some money, make some connections.
Yeah.
But I think mindset's really important.
Of course it is.
It's about your mindset going in.
Yeah.
I think if you're going in with the mindset that I want to make 5 sales at this event, and then you come out and you've made no sales, you're going to feel down.
Of course.
Whereas if your mindset is, this event is for knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm learning knowledge, I'm making connections, I'm making business relationships.
Definitely.
And I think you'll come away feeling much better.
And chances are, let's say it's the first networking event, it's very, very unlikely you're going to get a sale directly from that first event. But if you build the connection, if you build the know, like, and trust, you get them into your funnel, they could be a sale for 1 month down the line, 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line. So you have to have, in my opinion, the longevity mindset.
Yes.
I never go into a networking event, okay, right, I'm going to sell to 5 people. It's about how many connections can I build? How many people can I get onto my social media and get into my world and get them into my funnel? And then at that point, in 3 months or in 6 months, if I release an offer, like my retreat, I've sold all my retreat through my organic audience, all through Facebook and Instagram. Not a single paid ad. People that I know, like, and trust. And that's a result of building a strong audience. If you do that consistently over time, whenever you launch a new offer, whether that be a mentorship, a podcast, you're going to have the audience there of people that know you, like you, and trust you, and have already done business with you. And that's what we've seen.
So let's now talk about, like, you ain't got enough going on. I understand you've recently bought a new business.
We bought a new business, yeah. So, I'll dive into it. So, a company called She Vitality was owned by an Australian geezer. He set up the business about 1.5 years ago. And essentially, I know everyone thinks this, they think that we sell dildos online. No, we don't sell dildos. What we sell is anti-cellulite massages for women. So we've got beauty products, biocollagen, and I'll be honest, it's never a business I thought I'd get into.
Yeah.
But again, as a result of my marketing business, I met Mo, who was a good client of mine. Turned around to me and said, look, let's go into business together. He came from a world of property. He doesn't understand marketing, trading businesses. Property is very different, as you know. But it was like, look, let's come together. What can we do that mixes our skill sets together? So we found She Vitality, and then, acquired the business in August, been running it now for 6 months. We sell in over 30 countries, mainly in the US, UK, Canada, but across the world. We've got customers everywhere.
Wow.
And we've sold about 40,000 units since then, which is fantastic. Very big on paid ads, organic, and going to be starting some influence work, in the next couple of months. So, it's been an exciting journey.
Sweet. So, I know you're setting up all these businesses. Did you ever have a plan, or did it ever come to you that maybe I'll run these businesses and then the profits from the business I'll invest in property? Was that maybe part of your plan, or?
So I always wanted to get into property. So the plan was to get into property like this time last year, but then obviously this business came about. So for me, property is probably something I'll do in the long term. I see all these landlord bashing and all these rules and regulations. So I think for me, I'm going to carry on with marketing, carry on with She Vitality. We want to exit She Vitality in probably like 5 years.
Yeah.
Obviously for a nice multiple. And then probably I'll start to invest in property and do other long-term stuff. But at the moment, it's just about building She Vitality, keeping e-growth, and just having fun in the meantime. I'm 26 years old, so
I know.
I'm just trying to enjoy life as well a little bit. So
awesome. Yeah, you've done. It's unbelievable how much you've done in such a short space of time. Really,
Bro, I feel like I'm 26, but I always say I feel like I'm a 26-year-old in a 51-year-old's body and mindset.
Better keep going at the gym then.
Yeah, man.
So, how have you found it? And this is Joe Taylor.
Yeah.
How have you found it mentally? What like have you had any struggles? Have things gone
massively,
well,
bro?
Bad?
I think the thing about social media is I always try to be as authentic as I can. So I've had times, and I'll go into a few stories shortly, where you wake up and you realize, what am I doing? Even every day now, I'd be lying to you if I said I had it all figured out. I'd be lying if I said, I know exactly where I'm going to be. I know exactly where I'm going. I feel amazing all the time. It's just not possible. I'll tell you a quick story. So I had a guy called, I'm not going to name him, but I had one of my, let's not name him, but I had one of my best friends from school. His brother applied for a job with me. This was in about September 22 to 23. Came in, amazing guy, was basically very quickly became my right-hand man. Trusted him with everything. We won this big contract with this big company in Leeds, brought him into it. He basically ran my business. So I took a step back, and he had so much control, and I won't say power because it was still a small business, right? But he had so much understanding for the business. Then I got, so we were based in Leeds City Centre, as you know, and a guy came up to me and he said to me, he's like, oh, does this guy work for you? I said, yeah, why? He's like, oh, that's strange because I've just been on a call with him and his business partner. I showed him a picture of the guy. I said, you know what, this guy? He said, yeah. I said, what do you mean? He works full time for me. He doesn't have a business partner. And he was like, that's strange because I've just been on call with him trying to sell me marketing services. So then I said to him, I said, what was he trying to sell you? His social media marketing, content creation. And then I said, can you show me some of the work that he showed you? And I showed him, and he showed me the work that he'd shown him. And basically he'd set up this business whilst working with me with one of his mates, used all our work as his collateral, and was trying to sell to our clients. And I'll never, ever forget. And I called Diego. So big shout out to Diego. He's been with me through thick.
Yeah, he's a legend.
He's a legend, being with me through thick and thin. And we sat down. I was like, look, how am I going to navigate this? And I had Diego and 3 other people. So I had this guy who'd obviously done this. And there was another girl who was leaving because of him. So basically, long story short, that was probably the hardest 2-3 months of my life. Imagine we'd just signed a 10 grand a month client, biggest client we've ever done. And I had to sit on their boardroom in the meeting, knowing this had just happened the next day, pretend that everything was all going to be good. We had a massive consulting gig with them. And I had to pretend it was all good. So I had to turn up in my, my smart stuff, and I not slept the night before. It went legal, had to get solicitors involved, and probably the hardest 2-3 months ever. I can't even lie, in business. And then, it just makes you realize how you can't trust many people in business.
It's very difficult. I have this exact thing about trust. I mean, I've had people stab me in back.
Yes.
Like similar. It's difficult. But I think the stronger that you are yourself, and you make sure that things like that don't change you.
Yeah.
I think that's when you start attracting the right people.
Of course.
For something like that to happen, if you were to then start pushing everybody away, you're not going to get anywhere.
Of course not.
But I personally, I mean, it felt like a massive kick in balls, and I imagine that felt like a massive kick in balls.
Yeah, of course.
But look at what you've done since. You know what I mean? And
bro, you feel like your world's gonna collapse, mate. I had to call all my clients. Imagine calling all your clients saying, "Look, we cannot physically deliver on the contract that you're paying us to do right now. We're going through these issues. You're more than welcome to leave," because we couldn't charge him.
Yeah,
because I had all this internal chaos going on. Solicitors, I got this involved. He was then put in tribunal. Like, it was just a mess. So, and I thought the last 2 years, what I'd worked for, is it all going to unravel now?
Yeah.
And it's a mad feeling. It's a mad feeling.
It's mad. And I hear it so much. Yeah. And I hear it so much in property world.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm not in the property world, but I mean, there's some of the stories that I see about people that have raised all this money and then just fucked off.
Oh, so much.
It's crazy, man.
So many. I've got a really, really good friend of mine, and she's been investing for a long, long time. And she exactly the same. She put an angel investor onto someone's project, and they literally just took the money and run.
Like just a full dash and grab.
Dash and grab. And I think it was about £500,000.
Imagine how bad you feel must be being her.
Being her saying, like, this is my friend's project. It looks amazing. I think you should invest in it. And then they up and ran. I've had.
Do you know what's happened since then?
No, but I've had people as well talk about where they've lent people money and they've gambled it. Like there is this thing where you've got to kind of due diligence is so important.
Super important, yeah.
But I find I know you're not really. I know you're in the property industry as to the people that you work with.
Yeah.
But you're not really in the property industry as to like the investments, and the people, and the partnerships. Honestly, it's so hard to find people that you can trust, and I don't feel like there is anywhere. People said, "Do your due diligence." But you can't do your due diligence on what someone's thinking.
No, of course.
So they could have a gleaming past.
Yeah.
But then there's just something in the mind that's like, I'm going to take this.
Or a trigger in their world that cause them to do that because, I don't know, desperation or whatever. That you could do all the DD in the world, but you're never gonna know, are you?
It's so scary.
It's a shame, man. It's a shame. I think property educators are also an interesting topic.
Yeah. Well, property courses. There's this thing. I was talking with the Property Brothers recently.
Oh yeah.
Leon and
yeah.
They were saying there's people like they've been in industry for like less than 2 years, and suddenly they're a property guru.
Yeah.
And they're selling courses for like 10 grand a pop.
It's crazy.
And I used to know a guy who, because we were big in the rent to rent stuff, and he would sell rent to rent courses. They weren't too much; they were about 3 grand a pop.
Yeah.
We were selling these courses for. He'd give you the stuff to actually do it, spreadsheets and stuff.
Yeah.
But I found out. Obviously, I was doing photography and things. I found out like really far down the line that he didn't have any. He had no property. No properties, so, not even a rent to rent, nothing. But he would sell the course because he went on a course and learnt the course. So he learnt how to do it.
Just flipped that information.
But just never did it.
But never implemented it.
And let everybody else do it and sold it to them. It's crazy, isn't it?
Do you reckon he made sales from it?
Yeah, he did.
So what I'll say is
I've seen him in Dubai.
So he's a good marketer then. He's a very good marketer.
Yeah.
But the substance behind it, unfortunately.
And
It's just
I
not
think you
followed,
need
is it?
that substance. And I think
you do.
that's what's important about social media, being authentic,
course you do.
showing what you're actually doing.
Because you've probably seen it before. The amount of times you see people, they come all guns blazing, they're going to take over the world and they're going to do this and do that. 6 months later, they're gone.
Yeah. We got a job.
It's the longevity. Like,
Oh, he's long.
It's you've been around for a few years now. I remember when we met in Progressive.
How old do you think I am? I'm kidding.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
But that's my point. Like your messaging has always been consistent. This is what you do. You're documenting what you're doing, and you're showing and you're building your audience. But, you'll have seen it before. The amount of times you just see it all the time. Straight off a course. We're doing all this, doing all that, going to take over the world, and then they just disappear.
It is. It's a crazy world. So, is there anything particular that you want to talk about? Is there any message you want to put out?
I always like to ask this question. What's your honest state? What's your view?
You're not interviewing me.
I want to ask you this question though. I always ask business people this. What's your honest views of the state of the United Kingdom?
Oh,
I always like this one. How do you see it?
I don't like getting involved in politics.
And not have to be political. I mean, just in this, like, from a business owner's perspective, do you think
struggle?
Yeah,
struggle. It's a struggle.
Do you think the government?
I see so many people struggling
massively,
and I think one of the things recently. I've seen recently a lot of people talking about rent caps as well.
Yeah. Because
I think it all comes down. I know we're property investors, and it all comes down to it does come down to money. That's not going to fix out.
No.
Putting rent caps on because inflation still happens.
Yeah.
Things still start getting more expensive.
Yeah.
You can't just then put a rent cap on as though that house can't go over that rent because everyone will end up poor. There'll be no houses left.
Of course.
The economy will crash.
And do you see yourself living in the UK long term?
I don't want to, but my wife don't want to move.
Don't she? She wants to stay in sunny Sheffield.
I can't even get her to move out to Penistone.
Oh, mate, you got your work hard there, haven't you?
I take it from that, you're not staying in the UK.
No, I'm lucky. I'm always so torn. So I'm very close to my family, very close to my mum and dad. My sister works in my business. So that's the only thing that makes it hard to move. But I am looking at, if not moving to Dubai, moving my operations to Dubai, yeah.
Yeah.
I think in the next 6
Everybody's
months.
doing it.
I just think there's so much more net benefit to that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm going to go live out, because I like the English countryside. I like, obviously I'm from West Yorkshire, a lot of hills, a lot of nature, but I just think with the state of the country, the way it's going, the clamp down and the benefit that you get from being here, I just don't think it's as big as it once was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So for me, and obviously because I've got a digital business, everything can be done online. I'm looking at seeing what the options are, I suppose.
That'd be amazing.
So
definitely put me up if you do.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, we had Ben and Ollie on podcast recently. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They do rent to rent.
Yeah.
Very similar to us. They've just moved all their business over to Dubai.
Have they?
So they're still running rent to rents from UK.
Yeah.
But they've literally just moved to Dubai.
Have they?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So, that were a really good question. I suck at doing podcasts.
I like to get
Such a
people's
good
opinion,
question.
but I ask this question a lot, and I see there's a common theme, man. People are just tired. People are just fed up. Fed up. That's the word.
That is it. People are fed up.
Just like, is what.
And I feel like we're trying harder than ever.
Yeah, of course.
People have got 2 or 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Christ, I've got 2 or 3 businesses.
Yeah.
And yet, like we've spoke before about taxes and VAT and everything just absolutely screwing you over. It's difficult,
the margins
isn't
are
it?
getting squeezed.
It's
For sure.
getting absolutely squeezed.
For sure.
If they're finding a way to tax you on something, they'll tax you on it.
This is it.
If there's let's, I know people say this on podcasts, but I think it's a really good one. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever had?
Yeah, I always say this one. So I used to work in a kitchen part-time, so I was about 16, and I was a kitchen porter. And the chef said to me, I absolutely fucking hated the job. Come do the dishes, had to make it all clean and that. And the chef said to me one thing. He said, whatever you do, whether you're pot washing, you're a street cleaner, be the best that you can be at it. Whatever you're doing, just be the best version that you can. And I've taken that into anything that I do, whether it be marketing or podcasting. Just always show up, give 100%, even if it's something that you know you're not going to do. I knew I was never going to do pot washing off the back of that summer. I thought, fuck this is not for me. But I tried and I was the best pot washer at that time. And it made me realise that I definitely don't want to do that forever. And that was one advice. He was a bit of a knobhead, but that's the one thing he pulled me over to one side. No, because I thought I was going to do sous chef and like move on to like, you know, the good stuff, but I was stuck in the kitchen. But yeah, he said that whatever you do, be the best that you can be at it and you'll go far.
I love that.
That was a good, humble lesson.
That's good. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Joe.
Thank you, bro.
It's been epic.
Good to see you.
Do you want to do a quick plug of where people can find you? Because I'm going to go out on a massive limb and say they can find you on social media.
Yes, and if they can't find me on social media, there's a problem.
There's a problem.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram directly at eGrowth Media Ltd, or find me on Facebook, which is just Joe Taylor, eGrowth Media. And yeah, connect with me, let's have a chat. And if anyone needs any help with anything, I'm more than happy to help.
Yeah, man, wicked.
Thank you, bro.
Absolute pleasure, brother.
Appreciate it.
See you soon, man.